Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. We are your hosts, Vidas Pinkevičius
and Aušra Pinkevičienė.
We've been mastering secrets of organ playing for more than 20 years and sharing them on this blog since 2011.
On this show, which we create from our home in Vilnius, Lithuania, we strive to help you grow in every area of organ playing, including practice, technique, repertoire, sight reading, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, harmony, and many others.
Our hope is to help you become a complete musician, or what we call as total organist, a program which we have created to help you reach your dreams faster than you would do on your own.
If you are new here, we invite you to subscribe to receive free updates of this blog at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
And now let's go to the podcast for today. Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Aušra.
Let's start episode 517 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. This question was sent by Lee. And Lee commented on the YouTube video of mine where I talk about articulate legato touch in early organ music. I demonstrate how it sounds and versus normal legato. Normal legato is when notes are connected, and articulate legato are where there is some detachment between the notes, right? So he asks, how would articulate legato be notated in a score versus normal legato? Thanks. Aušra?
Well, this question makes me smile a little bit because articulate legato is supposed to be played it's intended for Baroque music, for early music.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are playing, let's say, a piece by J.S. Bach or, Dietrich Buxtehude or other, early masters, you simply know that everything that is written, and it's written in a normal score without any articulation marks, should be played in articulate legato.
Right. But
you only play legato those spots where it are specifically written in.
I see.
Plus, you need to find a good edition. It means if you will pick up, for example, an edition made by Marcel Dupré, you can just simply throw it away because it's all marked in legato and other articulation marks, but these are not original. These are added later by Marcel Dupré.
Yeah, and Marcel Dupré legato fingering and pedaling are dated, are basically not used in informed, historically informed early performance practice style. Of course, we don't, have CD recordings from Baroque times.
From 17th and 18th century.
Yeah, but remember, Aušra, we do have, for example, several pieces recorded on a mechanical clock from 18th century.
Yes.
Handel's concerto, for example, with multiple virtuosic embellishments.
That's right. Plus, the greatest evidence that we have are, surviving instruments. Simply, if you would play legato on the Baroque instrument, it wouldn't work.
And we just have to look at other instruments which share the same articulation, strings, winds.
Yes, and we have also many treatises from that time survived about playing various instruments, not necessarily the organ. But let me just mention probably the few famous ones, such as C.P. Bach's, the art of playing clavier, true art of playing clavier. Then big, book of Joachim Quantz on playing a flute.
Yeah.
Then, Leopold Mozart on playing violin. And basically, if you would read all these books, you would find, the sections talking about articulation. And you will see that, Baroque music was, all about articulation.
And similarly to keyboard music, string music, like violin music, also had a similar articulation done with bowing.
Yes, and the bow itself was shorter than it is in a modern violin or other string instruments. So obviously you had to articulate much more.
Mm-hmm. Well, exactly. And when you change the direction of the bow, there is a slight break between those two notes, and that's what creates this ideal articulation.
Yes, and for many beginners, when we start to articulate Baroque music, we simply start to play it too detached. It sounds like staccato, and it makes me laugh because it really sounds like a comedy.
Artificial.
Artificial. It's not like not like it needs to sound.
The principle is that you sort of play with one finger, but as legato as possible.
So basically, to master this ordinary touch, it takes time. It takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes to listen carefully to what you are doing. You cannot, do it in one night or 1 year, I would say too, unless you are very sufficient
Mhm.
in your practice.
What about the wind instrument tonguing? Is it also similar to
Yes, it's very similar.
to what we do?
Practically, we had to tongue each single note in most of the cases.
Unless it's written
Yes,
legato.
that's right.
Hmm. Or staccato, then it would be shorter.
And wind and wind instruments and organ has so much in common because we both have pipes. So I guess this also suggests us that the correct way to play Baroque music is to articulate it.
Hmm. So, guys, if you want to find out more about articulation of early music, check out those 3 treatises. We will link them in our description of the conversation. The one with the treatise by C.P. Bach about playing keyboard instruments, basically clavier, as he says. And the next is by Joachim Quantz on playing the flute. And the last one is by Leopold Mozart, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's father, on playing violin.
Yes.
And those three treatises will give you a great introduction, not only to this idea of ordinary touch, or as we call it today, articulate legato, but also to all kinds of performance practice issues, including fingering, ornamentation, for example, um, diminutions, all those details that make your Baroque piece sound like it might have been performed back in the day.
Yes, and the biggest contra argument that I heard about why do we need to do it nowadays? We mostly play on the modern instruments and so on and so forth. But even if you play articulate legato on a modern instrument, it still sounds better in this kind of music. At least for my ear.
Obviously, yes. It's more difficult to articulate on a modern instrument because the keys are wider and longer, Um, and the feeling of the keyboard is different, right? But if you apply this ordinary touch right away, you don't have to relearn it if you ever have a chance to practice on a historical instrument or a copy of the historical instrument.
True, and that's what I think is, that separates just an ordinary musician from, excellent musician. That you relearn in time. Because, for example, the older generation, for example, our professors, Quentin Faulkner and George Ritchie, we had to relearn it because as the young people, we were, taught to play legato and to do only some articulation in Baroque music. But later on, all this big discovery, basically based on, on German organists, such as Harald Vogel or, Ludger Lohmann became famous throughout the organist world. And some older generation, they didn't want to accept it. I have met some of them personally, and they would be complaining, oh, where is this youth that nowadays, play all Bach, non-legato, and we call it ordinary touch, and we see this is the way that Bach, played.
And this youth was like over 50 years old.
Yes, but that guy who told me that, I think at that time he was more than 80 years old already. He was, pupil by famous German organist Karl Straube.
Yeah.
So, and Straube was the same in Germany at that time as, Marcel Dupré in France. So, really a leading figure. And of course, he taught this, guy that I knew to play legato, and he trusted him because he was, so renowned organist worldwide, in his days. But the life is changing and new discoveries are made. So, our professors, Ritchie and Faulkner, we simply relearned everything.
Yeah. And as long as you keep learning, you postpone the aging process, which is really good news.
Well, and anyway, when you hear one performance and another one, and when you compare them, then you know right away which is, right one. Because, your intuition tells you that. And after, trying that ordinary touch, you will never go back to playing Bach legato.
Thank you, guys. This was Vidas.
And Ausra.
Please send us more of your questions. We love helping you grow. And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.
This blog is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online, where you will find courses for every area of organ playing, including technique, practice, sight reading, repertoire playing, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory and harmony, with hundreds of scores and thousands of exercises. Here is what some of the students are saying.
Hugh writes, "The sight reading course has helped me tremendously. Thank you very much for your essays, courses, and all your help."
Robert writes, "I found the fingerings, registration ideas, and general comments to be excellent."
John writes, "I have found your download very helpful. It was really excellent. I have watched some of your teaching videos, and when I read your instructions, I tried to imagine you are there teaching me. You may feel disappointed that I am 2-3 days behind, but I am a slow learner, and I have committed to taking the time to get it right, as you say. But the other night my wife commented that she had never heard me play such a detailed melody in the left hand so well. My left hand is generally poor."
Robert writes, "It has been a great pleasure in my life of having discovered your courses and material as well as the YouTube work of recordings. You have a calm and pleasant way of teaching."
Ron writes, "Hi Vidas and Ausra, thank you guys. What a wonderful response to my email note to you. You've got me right, and I feel you understand my level of playing. Yes, at home, and lucky that I have an organ for that reason. I am paying attention to this, and I am going to try this haha no longer secret model. Yes, and I love Cesar Frank too. What is very nice about your blog podcast is that Osha and Vidas are like a Socratic dialogue, and by bouncing things off of each other, so much more information comes out and is expressed. Your comments contain a wealth of information and understanding. I really appreciate this. It is very inspiring and will keep us moving forward.
Would you like to receive the same or even better results that our students are getting? If so, join them at organduo.lt/total-organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to receive free updates of this blog, make sure you do that at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video, how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
This was Vidas.
And Osha from Secrets of Organ Playing.
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.